Okay, so now we're going to talk about the power of prayer and utilizing water and why prayer really, really works. And we're going to use the topic of water, but we're also going to use it in the topic of just general prayer in life. So, like I said in the last video, that I am not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. And I know for years, the power of prayer makes a really big difference in our life. And, in the regards of how we pray as well. So it isn't like pleading and begging. It is a prayer of already giving thanks for it being has happened, whatever it is. Like, again, we're in the topic of health. So when we are saying a prayer, to already pray that as though that prayer has already been answered and our health is we are in perfect health and we are already healed. So as I was saying in the last video, we're utilizing water to pray over. You can do this before you go to bed. You can say this as you are falling asleep, because as we know, when we are saying things over and over, affirmations or positive things before that spot in between we're awake and falling asleep, that it affects us on the subconscious level. And a lot of us have a lot of dirt and awful things that are playing on the subconscious mind. Why is that? It's that because on a conscious level, we're taking in, hundreds of thousands of bits of information, but on the subconscious level, we're actually taking in billions of bits of information. And so these billions of bits of information are information that we're not even consciously aware of at all, because we're walking through a mall and there's all these conversations going on, and maybe they're negative, and maybe there's TV and there's CNN playing and blah, blah, blah. We're taking in all of those bits of information that's going on. And that's why, obviously, when we had the last 4 years of all that chaos and all that fear, it was penetrating in a lot of people, in millions and billions of people, because everybody was being seduced by that fear, and they were watching it on the news, and they were hearing it from their friends and family and neighbors, and then it was playing on their subconscious mind, and then it was creating the behaviors and the habits and the feelings that they had on a day-to-day basis, because they were living in that fear state. Okay, so before we go to sleep, we can start to reprogram the mind depending on what you are putting out there. What are you listening to? What are you feeding your mind? What are you thinking about? So making sure that you've made a solid decision that you're not going to put any dirt in there anymore. We're going to have uplifting things that are going to build us up, and that's going to empower us, and is going to fill us with joy. Or even watching comedy, that's something so funny. So as we're falling asleep, that is what is playing on our subconscious mind. But I do really love to pray as well. So I will say a prayer in my head. Thank you so much for this absolute, health that I have. And throughout the day, I have so much energy and so much abundance and so much joy that comes from my environment, my friends and my family, and all the things that I'm doing, and then as I go to sleep, I am so blessed to have this beautiful, peaceful sleep that I have. And then a lot of the times too, during that time, is that I will pray and give thanks for certain people in my life that I know that are going through traumatic times and things that are, especially in this day and age, people are going through a lot of different troubling times and challenging times. And so I will pray for those people, because I know that the power of prayer goes out into the universe and it is affecting the energy out there. And how I know this on an even deeper level is that I have a really good friend that she had a near-death experience 20 years ago. And as she had passed over, she heard the prayers of the people around her. And so she had flatlined and then came back to life, and she was gone for a while. And as she was on the other side, she did hear the prayers of other people. And I mean, she was not alive. And so when she came back and she was telling her family, I heard you praying for me, and you were in this place and you were doing this. And people were like, what? How did you even know that? There's no way you could possibly know what I was saying, how I was saying it, where I was sitting. And she knew all of that. And then also over the past 25 years, I have literally, one of my obsessions is near-death experiences. So I have watched thousands upon thousands of near-death experiences. And through that, I have seen and heard so many people with their testimonials of how prayer absolutely helped them, and that helped to bring them back and help to heal them faster. And so we do know that this is something that we can do. And in your challenging times, or in your dark times, or if you have an addiction problem of any kind, and you can pray, but pray as though it is already done. Pray, I am so thankful that my angels and God is with me, have helped me to heal my body, and now I live in perfect health. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. If it's something that, you might have thought was woo-woo, or because, you're not religious, and you feel like that's a little weird, that you can hear it from me, someone that is a spiritual person and has been doing this and utilizing this for many years, and that I have seen just absolute tremendous results. And I do believe in the power of God, and I believe in the power of our angels, and I believe in the power of prayer. And that if you have never tried it, then, give it some time. Do this for 20, 30 days, and I'm going to guess that within even the next couple of days, a lot of things in your life are going to start to change.